Hi everybody, Marty Rubin, and I'm back for another segment of Marty's Corner. And we have two special guests today. Two special guests. Let's see, we have Robert Gallagher, who is playing the tough, confident,
Rich.
yes. very rich,
Very rich.
but warm-hearted
Absolutely.
Daddy Warbucks.
Yes, sir.
And we have Karina Gallagher, who is playing the aspiring young theater person coming to New York City, and a future star.
Yes, the Star-To-Be.
Star-To-Be. But not, I'm going to say this literally and figuratively. I'm saying that.
Absolutely.
All right. So, in the hit musical,
Annie!
All right. Oh, so it's been so much fun.
Yeah.
The first 2 weeks here. Look at you. Let me just. This is not a wig. This is the real deal.
No. There's actual hair on the top of the head. I had to take it all off for this.
Well,
part.
we appreciate that you're all in like this.
Yeah.
That you do that. Does that get you in the zone when you're, when you
It
shake your head?
actually does. It actually does. Because, when I was approached about doing this, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right, and I thought, well, maybe we could do a wig cap.
Right.
And I did that in high school. I played this part when I was a sophomore in high school.
Right.
And put the whole wig cap on, and you have to glue it all to your skin. It gets really irritating and all that.
Yes.
And I thought, I'm
You're
going
going
to take
for
it
it.
off, and I look in the mirror. I don't see Rob. I see Warbucks. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, most importantly, Karina, and this is your real life daughter, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Karina Gallagher.
Let's give important context. We are actually father and daughter
Yes.
in real life.
That's awesome. Well, how do you like this new look on your dad?
I'm finally starting to get used to it. It's been 3 weeks and I'm finally starting to be okay with it, but it took a long time.
Yes.
I first saw him when he shaved his head here in the theater, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but it was fine. And then we got home, and he was sitting on the couch,
Right.
and I went, oh, that's not right. Who is that? But
So
it's better.
Karina, we last saw you a year ago.
Yes.
In A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Right? And I guess you're going to be spending the holidays with us every year,
I
right?
know, we could keep it a tradition, I
Yeah.
guess.
But now you're getting to play with your dad. I mean,
Yeah.
what's that experience been like for you?
It's been so special. It's been so special. When I heard that he got this offer to do this role, I said, I have to audition. Because I just thought, like, what a unique and rare experience to be
Yes.
able to work with your
Yeah.
dad and
Yes.
with your family. So it's been so fun. We don't interact that much on stage.
Right.
I don't think
But you
we
do have an
interact
awesome
at all.
song
No, we
together.
don't.
You have an awesome song together, though.
Well, kind of, but
Yeah,
we
but
don't,
when I sing, she's not even on stage, and when she sings, I'm off to the side.
Yeah.
Right.
So we don't really interact as characters.
No.
Right.
So we
Right.
find moments for eye contact,
Yeah.
Right.
but we get to drive to rehearsal together
Yeah.
and to the theater together, and we hug at the end of every
Yeah,
bow.
that's the thing.
That's-
You got to have a moment at the curtain
That's the
call.
best.
Great.
Well, that one song that I mentioned, NYC.
Yes.
As a father, taking away from your character, Daddy Warbucks.
Yeah.
She does a beautiful solo.
She knocks
in
it
that.
out of the park.
She's got a tremendous
Every
voice.
single time.
Yes.
she does.
So you're over on the side.
Yeah.
And you're Daddy Warbucks,
Uh-huh.
and you're awesome at it.
Thank you.
Can you appreciate that your daughter is doing that, or you can't break character like that?
Well, no.
Well.
So here's an interesting story about that, because when we were rehearsing in the city, and the director would tell me, first of all, she would point out to the entire cast how I'm beaming while I'm watching her sing. But apparently I was also mouthing the words along with her.
Trying to help her.
And he didn't
Yeah,
even realize
I
it.
didn't know I was doing it, so she told me to stop it. I thought, okay, well, good. I'm glad she told me, because I don't want to do that. And then it kept happening. Apparently, I kept doing
You just
it.
can't help being a father.
So now I have to clench my jaw. So when you come see the show during her singing, just know that I'm over here, downstage left, clenching my jaw, so I
Don't sing along.
don't mouth the
Well,
words.
Karina,
along
do
the
you
way.
ever look over and see, your dad and beaming? Because that's a moment for him.
I
too.
don't.
You're
I'm
better
not
off.
able
It's
to
better off you
because
don't.
Yeah.
if I look, I'll get distracted, and it's a very challenging vocal part, and I just want to make sure that I give it the justice that it deserves.
Right,
So
right.
I have to really lock in for that solo.
Now, let me ask you, Karina. You come from a show business family.
Yes, I do.
Okay, your mother as well. Mm-hmm. Did you get to see them on stage at a very young age?
Yes, I did. So we actually this is not the first time we've done a show together. Because
Okay.
technically,
Yeah.
when I was 5, I was in
South
a production.
Pacific.
I was in a production of South
Yeah.
Pacific with him. And I
Right,
played
right,
his daughter in
yes.
that.
Do you remember that?
I have a few fuzzy memories of it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But then I saw him on the Lincoln Center Broadway stage in South Pacific.
Yep.
I saw him do Harold's Hill. I've seen him do so many different shows, and I've seen my mom do shows, and they've done concerts. I would go to their concerts over
Right,
and over
right,
and over
yeah.
again. So
Did you want your daughter to go into this business?
Not at all. No, we didn't. Of course,
No.
you know, what do we do when she's 3 years old? We give her piano lessons, we put her in dance class,
Right.
you know, we're doing all of that
But
stuff.
don't go into show business.
But no. But then, of course, when she showed any kind of interest or even aptitude at anything else, like astronomy, she showed an interest when she was very young. We got her a telescope, we got her all the books, you know, or some kind of earth sciences, we get her a microscope, or she liked painting and drawing, so we get her all the art supplies, just, you know.
be an
anything
art
but the-
teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't go into the business.
Something
it's hard.
like that. But you know, I brought her with me on when I went to the West Coast to do a show in Sacramento. Brought the whole family there. It was just a 3-week commitment, and that was a theater in the round situation, and we would rehearse off-site, and they built a round stage in this big wide room. Doesn't really look like a theater. And she would come to visit, and as soon as she got in the room, as soon as we were on a break, up to the stage she would go.
Her eyes lit
She
up,
just somehow was drawn like a magnet to the stage.
Yes,
So,
yes.
and she comes by it honestly. It's not just me and my wife. Her grandfather was a really well-known and respected composer and cabaret artist in France, and grandmother also sang. So, yeah, I mean, it goes back
It
generations.
runs in the family.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
it really
that's so
does.
wonderful. I got to tell you, Robert, you mentioned a couple of shows. I've seen you in a few shows. Okay.
Yeah.
You are what I call a pros pro.
Well, thank
Okay.
you.
And
Take it.
I'm gonna throw. I know you're into baseball because we spoke briefly.
bit.
But when you talk about a baseball player and you say, you know, he's a professional hitter.
Uh-huh.
If you're talking about, let's say, the Mets. You
Sure.
know, and you say someone's a pros pro.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it means in sports and baseball. That means that person's experienced, that person can be counted on, that person comes with their best efforts every day, okay, meets any challenges. That's what you do out here.
Well, thank
That's
you.
what you do as Daddy Warbucks. You bring it every night. The crowd's fully invested in
Yeah,
you.
thanks.
What does it take for you as an actor to get to that kind of level?
Well, it takes a commitment and a perseverance, and you know, that's what it is. It's not just me, right? We've got Kendall and Cameron and Ben and Charlotte.
She's something else. Yeah.
The child actor. She's playing Annie, a pro's pro. I mean,
Yes.
I was, from the first day I met Charlotte, I was thinking, oh, we're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
yes.
she just walked in like, and she's still a kid, right?
Right.
It's not like
Yeah.
she's, you know, not this wonderful, bubbly, effervescent child, which she is. But, you know, she just walked in with a confidence and a poise and
Yes.
just the responsibility of taking, carrying the load. She
Yes.
carries the load. She's in every scene.
She's awesome. She's
Right.
awesome.
So, you know, some people just get it through experience after decades of doing it, and other people seem to be born with it.
Yeah.
This one's born with it too.
So when you're working with a young actor like that,
Yeah.
how is that different than working with a more seasoned actor?
You know, I think it's a little bit different because children just don't really have the same kind of focus that grown-ups do, although these kids certainly did. But I also thought, you know, there's often a kind of a hierarchy in terms of like the authority or who has, you know, control in a room. And so I wanted to make it clear to her, to Charlotte, and we didn't talk about this or anything,
Right.
but I just wanted her to know that, you know, I'm somebody who can be trusted.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a 6'2" older white man, you know, and that could be intimidating for a lot of people. So I wanted to make sure that she knew that we're here to have fun,
Yes.
and we're gonna have, it's going to be a safe place to be.
That's
So
nice.
yeah, just got a little bit more care maybe
Yes.
with that.
Oh, that's
But I mean,
nice.
these guys were they're so great.
They're
All the
unbelievable.
kids.
Could-
You know,
Karina, let me ask you: when you were watching a scene with your dad and Charlotte, let's say one of those sweet and tender scenes, do you think that's my dad. Like, in other words, what do you feel at that moment?
Jealous. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, to be very honest, when he first blocked his "Something Was Missing" scene with Charlotte, I really started to listen to the words and the way that he treats Charlotte with so much care and love, and I just got very emotional because I thought, wow, how lucky am I that actually was my experience growing up. That I had this wonderful guy.
That's so nice
to
to
be
hear.
the best dad in the world. Truly, I couldn't have gotten luckier.
Yes.
When it comes to dads,
Yeah.
I really couldn't. So I started to cry in the room, and Val, our director, she came and gave me a hug. She noticed I was crying. I actually had. I cannot watch Something Is Missing. I have to go up to the dressing room because I get emotional thinking about how that kid was me.
Yes, not too long ago. Not too long ago either.
Yeah.
Well, I can relate to this because I coached my son in baseball for over 10 years, and my son Joshua, he was, you're at third base. Let's say when you're up at bat, your team, and you're trying to put everybody in position to win, and then my son comes up, and I'm switching gears from a coach to a father as he smacks the ball into the outfield, and I'm saying, that was my son that smacked the cover of the ball. But I let go of the coach part of me just for that moment. Can you do that? Can you do that and say, oh, look at Karina, she's hitting those notes in that solo.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm standing over there, and our job is to watch her sing, right?
Yeah.
So that's very lucky that I can get to do that, and she just kills it every single time. But
he's not when you're not acting, you're also a voice teacher full time.
This is true.
And so sometimes I'll go to you and Mom and be like, can you help me with this vocal part, with this audition? So sometimes they do turn into my teachers.
That's
in
true.
That way,
Did
too.
they have any advice for you when you were thinking about taking the part for Annie?
Oh yeah. I sat and we
what
did
did
a
they
whole
tell you?
coaching session. We still coach it.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm warming up and then they said, I gotta modify that vowel.
Yeah.
Just make it a little less bright and a little more mixed or whatever. So we're still doing it all the time.
What do you think, Robert, is the message of Annie?
It's hope, it's optimism. It takes place in one of the darkest times in American history, right? And a lot of people probably think that our environment right now is a pretty dark environment, but I don't think it's quite like it was in the 30s, right? I mean, just millions of people unemployed, people living on the streets, and here's this little 11-year-old girl who grew up in an orphanage, with an abusive person who runs the place, and somehow this child is the one that everybody looks to lift them up. And so that's what it is, and it's a great holiday kind of message. So it's a very heartwarming show.
That's nice. That's nice to hear. Karina, what we just had a matinee. So you literally just took off your costumes and came out here.
Yep.
Yes.
And we have another show tonight. How do you gear up for another show? I'm thinking about in baseball when someone has a doubleheader, same kind of idea, but how do you gear up to do it all over again?
I like to gear up by being around the people backstage. I think we all build off of each other's energy, and I just love theater people so much. We just have so much warmth and joy to share with one another. So while we're in the dressing rooms, I always make sure to go down and say hi to him in his dressing room before I go on. Yeah. So it's the people, it takes a village.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have to conserve some energy to know you're doing it again later?
Not really. No, honestly, I feel like we gear ourselves up for the second show in a day the same way. At least I'm speaking for myself, but I don't feel it. I feel we do, regardless if it's a 1-show day or a 2-show day.
Right.
Each show, we kind of do our thing. We have whatever it is, our routines that all of us go through. Maybe not as vigorous a vocal warm up, in between shows or something like that, but. It's the same routine, the same energy, the same focus. When do I put on my costume? When do I put the microphone on?
Right.
That kind of a thing, going over my lines in my head.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we mentioned earlier about the song NYC, and you have the opportunity, really the only time that you're somewhat in the same scene together.
Yeah.
It's so special when the two of you are singing out here. Could you give the fans a little sneak peek of what that looks like?
I mean,
Okay.
You want to sing with my solo?
I'm gonna sing her part.
Okay.
We're gonna sing it together.
Yes, we are.
All right, here we go. So we're gonna be.
All right.
And
okay.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
NYC just got here this morning. $3, 2 bags, 1 her. NYC, I give you fair warning. Up there in lights she'll be.
That was just awesome. I love it. I love it. Can I get a high five?
Yes.
Oh, that's so
Marty,
great.
thank you for having us.
Oh, it was. Thank you for being on Marty's Corner. It was such a pleasure. If you want to come and see the two of them finish that song, okay, that which is worth the price of admission just for that. You know? But we're playing straight through to Sunday, January 4th, and come and see the Gallaghers here and the rest of this super talented cast. And we can't wait to see you at the Argyle Theater.